everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Life in the Village. We are here smelting some iron while we're at work, doing a voiceover episode. And during this episode, we go exploring, we start upgrading the area around the base a little bit more. And here I figure out that there is much more to smelt than meets the eye. There are 768 pages of fuel, and a lot of it's coloured wool and stuff like this, but once you get right to the very end, 10 million items this creative blaze thing smelts. We need to get our hands on whatever the hell that is. A creative blaze cake. We need one of them. That is like ridiculous. 10,737,418 items it smelts. Like, who comes up with this? So yeah, that is what we're going to be working towards in this series. I want at least one of those. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I want one. So at this point, I'm just mind boggled. I'm sharing it to Vortex, tagging below. I'm like mind blown. So yeah, we'll just smelt in some iron. At this point, my Bluetooth mouse decided to die on me at work, so I had to use stupid little keybinds where the full stop button was my mouse click button, so certain things didn't really work for me. But we make it through, we power through, as we always do on this channel. Straight from doing all this, we jump to a double mob farm that we saw in the last episode, where we found 2 spawners next to each other. That was just a perfect opportunity to have. I don't even know if I showed it in the last episode. There were so many recordings where I'm at work, it's just all bubbled together. But we found 2 spawners, a zombie, a skeleton, next to each other. So we speed this up, we make a double mob farm out of it. And my god, it works perfectly. At this point, my computer mouse died. I'm using all my keybinds. I've changed it all up, and it is just the worst thing ever. I'm using full stop for the left mouse button. I'm using plus for the right mouse button. I have no wheel. I'm just pressing numbers to try and get to the right slot on my hotbar. It is agonizing. We saw this little goblin guy in our little collection room. He is a godsend, and we hope he pops up now and then again, because they don't hang around. But iron, raw iron for double the iron, perfect. Unbreaking 3 for unbreaking 4. What more could you want? Hopefully he'll pop round again, because I think by the time the video ends, they are not there anymore. But we close it all up because he hid in the walls, and we crack on with finishing our little mob farm here. Made a nice little infinity sauce in the corner there. Nearly done. Boom. We just nice little collection plate, so we add a nice little hopper system onto that. Easy and basic, nothing too fancy just yet. We're still in the early days of our server. We found another little goblin guy who happened to appear behind me, and his are alright. His aren't anything amazing. Like, he does gold and copper and iron, the usual stuff, which I happen to trade with just to make sure that we have enough. And then I think right at the bottom, do I even look? I don't even look at the bottom. I grab a trapdoor just to keep them nice and safe. Pop something just over their heads, like so, just to keep them nice and happy. And yeah. Then I realized that I didn't actually break any of the torches out, so I jump back up and I break all of the torches within the mob farm. So hopefully this will be all for worth it. Like, so far, as I know now, because it's a voiceover, it works perfectly. We get so many mob drops plus a lot more. So the mods that we have on the server, on the system, are absolutely unreal. It drops experience bottles, it drops the card packs, it drops gold nuggets, scrolls of like anything you can think of. It's just unbelievable. We'll get all to that in the next episode anyway. So already we have mobs spawning, smacking down into the section, and I jump back into our little hole where they all start flowing through quite nicely. Problem is, I couldn't reach them, so I just had to bring them slightly closer, and then we can just swing away. And yeah, instantly broke my sword. Pop a little trapdoor on there just to stop them babies from sneaking out if they were to ever want to. Grab a sword from the backpack because I always like to try and keep a backup somewhere. And we just swing away for a few minutes. Once we've done all that, we jump back up to the surface where we need to make a sugarcane farm ready for our librarian villagers. As that's the one thing, I planted one sugarcane next to the farmer's house and it just didn't grow for ages. And I was like, why is this not growing? Minecraft sucks. Turns out there was a sign above it that blended in very well and I did not see the sign. So it didn't grow because there was a sign above it. But we need to make a decent source of paper. So we make just a basic line of sugarcane. I think it adds up to about 32 around. So it's enough just to get us through for the first so long, you know. But we plant the sugarcane or whatever we have just around the line, like so. All of this is only temporary. We do update it in the future. We make sure that it is. We're going to be making proper farms, proper everything around. Pop a crafting table down by my little starter base and we make some paper. Because I believe if we grab some wool and we make some purple dye that wool to a purple color, make some purple carpet, and then if we do purple with a book surrounded by paper, we get a thing called the album, which, as you can see, is a quest and is also very important for the mod pack because it collects all the cards that we open. All these packs that are hiding in my backpacks, we can open them all and they will automatically go into the booklet. It's quite smart how it works because if you get a card that is a higher tier, so you can open a card that's like common, uncommon, rare, extremely rare, those sort of stuff. Legendary, I think, is the highest one. Yeah, if you open up a common one, it'll pull it into its place. But then if you open a rare down the line, it will replace it for you. It will always have the highest tiered number card, whatever you want to say. So yeah, we have a fiddle around with that. I think I spend quite a while looking for all of my stuffs. I need more storage, which we work on in the next episode, which I'm very happy and I cannot wait for you all to see. It looks so good. But there's our cards. We have some artifacts we still need to work through. We've got plenty of name tags for anything we need. You can tell that I just don't look through these stuff often because I'm just looking over it like, I forgot I had that. It's always the way. I always end up looking for stuff. But we get all of our card packs and we make sure that I've got them all. And then, yeah, so we open up. All we do... Okay, so we open up the rare pack first just by holding the right click button. And it does a fancy little animation, if you will. And it just sort of like does a little pop. Hold it for long enough. I think, yeah, it just pops all the 5 cards out. You click on them all and it just shows it and it looks brilliant. Like straight away goes into the album. 5 cards collected and it tells you how many. Each one's got a number, a rarity, and you can just... But I think it's got a point system. I'm not sure what the point system is for yet. But then we open our legendary ones and we get some like pretty decent cards to begin with. Accidentally smacked that on there. Nope, I want that back. And we get sword. Oh, we got the... I think that one's a legendary sapling. Mythical, sorry, not legendary. Mythical. The best card we could get for that particular one. After that, we go exploring. We see a Heidi Johannesson family member in the woods, to which we slaughter because she is awkward and not very useful for us. So, still using Keybind's mind, I managed to slay her. We dump her stuff on the... because, yeah, I had no use for her. I just wanted to... We did find this really cool hat, though. Just basically, it allows me to sprint in crouch. So it's like a swift sneak. It's quite fancy. It's annoying because if I'm on the edge of a block and I shift to not fall off the block, it makes the FOV just skewed. It's weird. But we keep running. We explore thousands and thousands of blocks by this point. We find a shipwreck. We didn't even have to look very hard. It was just beached on the side. After a little bit of digging around, we find the chests that contain the treasure, the beautiful treasure that we long for. Plenty of iron. We got a magnet upgrade for our backpack, which comes in handy. I don't actually need it just yet, but it comes in handy to have. We stash it away in a chest and keep it very safe. And we need to jump away, try and find the other chests, because we want the treasure map. That is what we long for, the treasure map. And the beach one's always a pain, because you don't know whether the chests have spawned in or not. So you've kind of just got to take that gamble and dig around anyway. But we find it. After a bit of lag, it's the wrong chest. Always fun. We take the moss because moss is always handy for mining, like big areas anyway. Also, moss can be great for our bone meal. Always comes in handy when you're trying to grow lots and lots of crops. But we dig to the other side of the boat, and that's where we find the chest in this room, buried under all the sand. The treasure chest and the treasure map. So these ones are slightly different. You have to actually, it's like a scroll that you right click and it searches for treasure around you, and if it finds one, it will turn into a map for you. So we right click that, it's been allocated and been found, and it's not too far away. Straight away we jump over there and we try and figure it out, and it took me a little while to find, but we eventually get there. It's all fun trying to find these. It's either right underneath you or it's 10 blocks in the other direction. Like it's always one or the other. But after a quick dig around, we do eventually find it. Just takes us a little time and a little lag, but we get there. Thankfully, we gained a bit of sand from this because I needed sand for my village and my windows. We take a quick look at the map to figure out that am I actually in the right spot. Turns out I was a few off. So the next morning we figure it out. We find it. Lots of gold, diamonds, heart of the sea, along with familiar stones. I think we've seen them before. We've got a couple of them, I believe, now. But we take it all, or most of what we need anyway. Once we've taken it all, we jump forward, we scale the ocean in search for other things. And we come across this really fancy looking gingerbread house. And it's not the first time I've seen one, but it is the first time I've explored one. And there's a little gingerbread golem. I don't know what he's for. I tried right-clicking on him, left-clicking on him, nothing really. So, yeah, I was hungry. And the game decided to lag on me, so I can't end up killing him. However, the second I walk out the door, he passes away, and it makes me feel really bad. So I hear the... I'm like, hang on a minute. Run back in. He's gone. Oh, shit. No, I murdered him. Oh, well. Move on to the next. We murder this... whatever he is. Tuscan. Murder him, and we find a nice little village in the snowy biomes. We have a little raid of our village. Grab some sweet berries because they're always fun and handy to have for the people you can come across. They tend to want sweet berries. Then we have a happy little waystone which we decide to steal for our future projects. And I try and help the golem, and I accidentally hit him, and he went mad at me. So we ran off, hidden away behind the tree, long, long, long away from him. Then we come across a snowy nest for the busy bees mod. We've got 3 of these now, so we need to figure out what we're doing with them. Then I come across a slime one. And then we keep exploring, and we explore and explore to the point the world decides not to load on me anymore. But we explore through snows and swamps and more snows and ice and everything you can think of. Then we come across a desert where these beautiful structures always have a waystone, so we grab as many waystones as we can for our future projects. And we also have the statues, which I've used in the previous series, which they are just amazing. Then we find a nice little village with a humongous cactus farm. So I'm definitely going to be coming all the way back here at a later date to steal all that cactus. This village was fancy. Like, they have lanterns in the air, they had market stalls open. Really nice little village. Then later on in the desert, we found a nice little camping chair and we took a chocolate bee because for some reason chocolate bees are a thing. Then we find a desert temple and we take a jump. We quickly have a look for mobs and we take a dive down. So now this bit really confused me on the watch back, because we get to the bottom after putting a torch up. We get to the bottom and we do what every sane Minecrafter does. We break the pressure plate. And then I just start looking through some of the chests and there's nothing major there. And then out of nowhere, yeah, I don't know whether a creeper come down on me. I don't know what happened. But because of that, we decided to go down into the caves and we gathered a lot of iron, followed by more iron. And then we found some more iron. And you see where this is going, don't you? Diamonds. We find diamonds. And more diamonds. And more diamonds. Oh, look. A randomite, which gives us a slime ball. And a bit of coal. Blech. More diamonds. And a diamond fossil, which I have never seen one. I know they exist, but this is the first time I've seen one in a vanilla in a Minecraft survival world. So we completely tear this apart. We find every diamond ore that we can, buried beneath its deep slaty glory. And we gather quite a few diamonds from all this, to be honest. Enough to get us started anyway. We find some more diamonds very close to lava. And we head back home for the night. We fill in the patch near one of the houses that we knocked down. We can't fill it all in because resources are still a little low. But we make a start on it. And then once we have done all of this, we begin on knocking down the big house near our Fletchers for our storage system. So this house here is going to be our future storage. We end up just knocking the whole interior down along with the back wall, and yeah, we end up building something just semi-basic. It works for what we're trying to do, but you're going to have to wait for the next episode to see the final touch. We knock down the building next to it and we just get a little connect up just to make it look a little better than what it did. I do end up just completely redoing it because it just doesn't work in my favor. They're two completely different size buildings. But yeah, see you in the next episode.